Hi everyone, I'm MaryAnn. I'm a visual artist and voice coach from Singapore, currently in Singapore, and welcome to day 21 of my 100-day vlog project. I initially started this vlog thinking that I was going to talk more about the creative process and what it's like to be an artist, but it turns out that for the last 20 days I think I've spoken a lot more about following your dreams and personal development and personal growth, and I guess life as a journey. So I am thinking, probably not a good idea to call this a creative vlog anymore because it is not leaning in that direction, but maybe a personal growth vlog. I have no idea yet. I still have 79 more days to go after today, and yeah, so if you have questions about your following your dreams, pursuing your passion. If you have questions about the creative process, I would still welcome it. Anything that you think that I would be able to help you with or answer in one of these videos, feel free to share them in the comments, or you can directly message me in any of my social media links that are in the write-ups attached to these videos. So yesterday I talked about how we have different seasons of our lives and different cycles that we go through in our journey, and and there are going to be times where you're going to feel stuck. There are going to be times where you have no idea what you're doing. There are going to be times where everything is smooth sailing and everything you do gives you the results that you want, and it is all part of a much larger journey. There's no better or worse time than the other. It's all, I guess, necessary in this path that you're on. Which brings me to the topic for today, which is that nothing that you have done before is ever a waste. I think a lot of times, when when you're 19 and you're deciding what course to study in university, a lot of times, we think, we're brought up to think in a very practical way, right? Like, oh, I need to be able to make a living with this next time. And so we choose our course of study a lot of times based on that rather than based on what we're truly passionate about and what we're really interested in. And then maybe, a few years after that, after you graduate, you work in a job that's related to this area of study that you're in, and then you realize it's not really what you want, and then you might go back to school and study something else, and it's easy after a while to feel like maybe you wasted those 4 years of your life at university. And it's not just university. Maybe a job that you had that you really didn't like and you feel like you wasted 2 years of your life there, or you might have been in a relationship that wasn't that great and you feel like you wasted 6 years of your life there. So I guess what I'm saying is that nothing that you have gone through is ever a waste. To share a more concrete example from my own journey, not many people know this, but I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. So when I was 19 and deciding what to study in university, I didn't even know, well, I knew at that time that my dream was to be a contemporary Christian pop singer-songwriter, which I shared about a few days ago. But at that time in Singapore, like what music industry, and like let alone a Christian pop music industry. And I didn't exactly look outside of my country for other options. Partly also because the internet wasn't all that like what it is now, and I guess I just didn't even know if that was a possibility for me. So I basically just looked at the university that was closest to my home, looked at whatever was available at that point in time, and psychology seemed to be the only thing that kind of was of any interest to me. And I figured that I like watching people, I like talking to people, I like trying to figure out why they behave a certain way, what makes them tick, what they're passionate about. So I figured, okay, it'll be a good subject to study. And then I went to university and I studied psychology. And I realized that I do not want to spend my life working in this area at all. Like, the job of a psychiatrist or a psychologist somehow didn't completely sit right with me. And then, through other coincidences, which I've shared also a few days ago, I met an actress, and then I went into acting. I went to explore acting in my final semester doing this degree. And it turns out that psychology is really useful when you are an actor, because to be a good actor, it's not just about reading the script with some, like putting on some emotion as you're reading the script. You actually have to become this character, and how to become this character is you have to draw from your own life experiences and you know, figure out what's the motivation of this character and things like that, which is related to psychology. So there was definitely a linkage there. And then fast forward many years later, when I became an artist, I did a program called the True Self Creation course, and part of the methodology used in this program is life coaching. So after that, because I got so much from this program, I mean, I practically did my first solo exhibition and kickstarted my professional artist career from doing this 3-day program. I was very intrigued by life coaching. So I trained to be a life coach with this organization that created the True Self Creation course. And even though I decided that I didn't want to go full-time into life coaching, at least I don't know if that's still an option for me at this point, but you know, I started to see the linkage that, you know, my degree in psychology, my exploration in acting, and then, you know, an interest in life coaching, a lot of this there's a thread that runs through that has to do with, you know, understanding how people think, or in my case, you know, understanding how I think, understanding what makes me me, and trying to figure that out. So it was all part of a journey of self-discovery. That's what I'm realizing, at least for myself. And that's just only one part of it. Right now, as a voice coach, singing and expression is also related a lot to psychology and and how a person thinks and what they feel and what they behave. And ultimately, I guess what I'm saying is that everything in this life is related to each other one way or another, whether we see it or not. A lot of times the connection might be hard to discover, but you know, once again, it is very unique to you as an individual, because it is your journey and nobody else can go on this journey but you. So everything that you have done before, even if you feel like it was a waste of your time, a waste of your energy, a waste of your resources, believe me when I say it is not a waste. Like, you have learned something from that process. Maybe you have learned something from having to make those mistakes, and ultimately your journey as it unfolds, you will start to see that there was a reason why you made those decisions before. There's a reason why you took that course which you didn't really like, and you have learned something from it. You might not know what it is right now, but you have. And I guess part of the process of unfolding the journey as we go forward is also kind of looking back, you know, in retrospect, and reflecting upon the journey you have come across so far, to see, you know, what is it that you can learn from there, to see if there are any patterns, to see if there are any clues, I guess, as to what might be next for you. So if you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel or like my Facebook page, wherever you're watching this on, and you know, question me ask me your questions in the comments, or you can directly message me if you're shy, and I will see you tomorrow.